You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
Welcome in, Oilers Nation, every day. It is another Sherwood Ford Giant game day edition of the show here on a beautiful fall Saturday in Edmonton, where we have matinee hockey to discuss. I will admit, when I looked at the schedule and I saw that the Oilers were playing a home game at 2 p.m. on a Saturday, like that's a little weird, right, Jay?
It's extremely weird. I expect them to be playing in Florida or something right now. 2 o'clock at home is strange, but it's us bowing down to the mothership that is Toronto so they can have prime time and that everyone else in the West Coast can watch the Buffalo Sabres play the Vancouver Canucks. So I feel like we're getting the raw end, but whatever. It is what it is. It's a good start to a day. Some Oilers hockey. After a win, some dinner, maybe a couple drinks, some laughs. Nice little Saturday.
Couple of afternoon pops, am I right, Liam?
Afternoon pops, evening pops, bedtime pops, whatever you're drinking. As long as it's a win, I think there'll be a couple more after. But I guess it's a credit to how good this team actually is now that they're playing these afternoon games and teams on the people on the East Coast that you want to watch us play, and we're not the ones playing Buffalo at 8 o'clock anymore.
I can subscribe to the fact that this is a way to market Connor McDavid to the world. If that is actually the logic, and it's not to give Toronto main prime time, then I can agree with that because everyone needs to see this kid.
Yeah, I think that's especially true. Like Monday, they're playing Pittsburgh, and that's at 6 o'clock. And that's like, I think that's exactly what you're talking about, Liam. That's McDavid versus Crosby. You don't want to stick him at 9 p.m. Eastern, so you put him at 8 o'clock Eastern, which is 6 o'clock our time, which is hellish for people who have like everyday jobs and got to like get home from work, then find a way to get to the game and whatnot. But for the Oilers, yeah, I don't know. I like them. I'm a big matinee hockey guy. I think it's great when you get the game going nice and early, get a few drinks in you. It really sets up your whole day, especially if the Oilers win. Edmonton going for their second straight victory. As always, we are streaming to you live on the Oilers Nation Twitter, live on the Oilers Nation Facebook, and on the Nation Network YouTube, where we have the comment section already rolling. Mike's VHS Treasures says afternoon hockey is the best. And yes, Mike, I absolutely agree with you. Like I said, Oilers coming off a win over the Carolina Hurricanes. Jay, you were not on the show on Friday. What did you make of that Oilers victory over the Carolina Hurricanes?
First, I want to shout out that this matinee game is great for our German friends as well. Like it's probably 10 p.m. they can watch this game. They'll get up at 4 in the morning, so this actually works out really well for them. So I'm happy for them. You know what, Tyler? It is what we thought it was. Carolina had an easy start to the schedule. They came into Edmonton. We actually showed up and played them hard and made things life a little bit difficult. The team clicked. We scored goals when we needed to. We gave up goals when we maybe shouldn't have, but we also made some big saves when we were supposed to, and then got those go-ahead goals back when we had to. So, like, it just, you know, the way they played, I did not feel stressed. I felt very confident with how they played on the ice and very positive that we were going to get the W. And, you know, that was our best competition. You know, Svechnikov is an elite goal scorer.
Legit.
Holy cow, that blew my mind. But, you know, the fact we only held him to 3 when actually it could have been 6, that's a positive.
Yeah, he was all over the place. And that's why, like, when people had beef with those Campbell goals, and Bag Milk and I went back and forth on the first goal, debating that one Friday on the show. But, like, I mean, if Leon Draisaitl is scoring those goals, we wouldn't be sitting here as Oilers fans going, oh, that's a soft one, probably should have stopped it. Like, sometimes elite goal scorers can make the tough shots or make difficult shots just look really, really easy. And I think that's all it was. Mike agrees. He says no bad goals from Campbell. What?
He's got no, like he's got no windup. Like the puck is just on his stick and it just like fires off like automatically as if he pushed a button and it just exploded off his stick. Like this kid is an elite talent. So you got to give props where props are due. Wish I bet him on the hat trick.
Should have. Liam, you're a head scout. You can appreciate that elite release from Svechnikov.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you see very often. He was a second overall pick, so we should probably expect like this greatness from him. Like you kind of forget those guys just kind of away in Carolina, but you know, you see him and you're like, oh, that kind of wasn't a great one by Campbell. Then you watch the replay and like Jay said, there's just like nothing to his shot. 1 second it's on the stick, next second it's rippling in the back of the net. So I think we got to go easy on Campbell a little bit. Some people were a bit upset, I think, with the first one, but when you see it again, it's like, how many goalies are really going to stop that puck? How many goalies are really going to stop any of them that went in on Thursday night too?
Yeah. A lot of great goals. And like I said, we made the mistake of giving him a high danger chance. So he's going to bury most times. So, and same thing with us. We created and they gave up chances for us and we buried too. And that's the big thing. We buried them this time.
Yeah. If you're watching right now on the YouTube stream, I see that there's a handful of you. Hit that little like button for us. Do me a solid. I see there's 17 of you watching on YouTube, but only 1 like. I would enjoy if that changed. We're always coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio, 3 locations in Edmonton. If you want to look your best on game day, maybe with one of these bad boys, they have them in stock. If you're not in the Edmonton area, if you can't make it out to the Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Mall, or Kingsway Mall, you can find them online, sportscloset.ca. John's in the chat. Yash is in the chat. Dangerous Wade's in the chat, so all the regulars chiming in. Dangerous Wade says, Carolina is a really good team. What can either goalie do when you have 2 powerful top sixes? And I really think that's what that game was. It was 2 really, really good teams just going head-to-head, and both sides played, I thought, really solid hockey games. The difference was the Oilers' special teams was better. And earlier in the year, I complained after the Vancouver game, and I said that was a Tippett-esque win because they won it off the back of their special teams, and they were bad at 5-on-5. The perfect balance, in my opinion, is what you saw on whatever that was, Thursday against Carolina, where the 5-on-5, the Oilers were good. They kept pace with Carolina. They generated good chances. They got some even strength scoring. But in a tight game like that with 2 really strong teams going head-to-head, it ended up being their power play and a shorthanded goal that kind of set them apart. Speaking of that shorthanded goal, it was all started by Mr. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Jay, what did you think of the Nuge having a bit of a breakthrough against Carolina?
That's the Nuge, man. He's got every tool to his game. If him and McLeod are on the ice, they are a goal threat in a penalty kill situation. They both can skate well. Nuge's vision and ability to make passes and make plays, and great finish by McLeod. But that was awesome. And it even go deeper on that game. Remember, we put up 6 against that blue line and that goaltender.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yes, Nuge. Nuge forever, man. Nuge for life.
You got the jersey up behind you as well.
Right
on the show on Friday, for people who didn't tune in, because earlier in the week, I was talking about how Nuge is due, man. He was generating chances. His shooting percentage was low. He was just fighting some bad luck. He was due. I have declared Warren Foegele as the next Oiler to break through and start scoring a few goals. But another guy who I think could be a candidate for that is Kyler Yamamoto. And someone actually tweeted me about this earlier in the week as well when I talked about the Nugent-Hopkins thing. They said, hey, try to get Yamo going as well. And today might be the best chance for Kyler Yamamoto to do that because he played the St. Louis Blues very well last season. In 3 games, he had a goal and 4 assists. Wow, excuse me, my voice is giving out on me. 1 goal, 4 assists against the Blues last season, and that goal was a game winner with 28 seconds remaining. Yamamoto, one of those guys who maybe hasn't been his best early on in this season, but Liam, if he can get rolling and start scoring next to Connor McDavid, he's a valuable part of this forward group.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's always just been an inconsistent scorer for the team, but when he starts getting on a roll, he gets pretty hot with it. And the thing with Yamamoto is you're always going to notice him. He's always going to bring the work ethic. So eventually he's going to get rewarded with a goal, whether it's just however it is. But he's overall, even without the goals, he's still such a huge part of this team. But again, if those goals come, then even better for this offense that's already elite as it is.
Yeah, and you make a good point there. Even when Yamo's not scoring, he's working hard. He's usually creating turnovers, but at the same time, he's starting to become an established NHL player. I think it's fair to expect some goals out of him, but I agree, Liam. Early in the year, there's no reason to panic about Yamamoto. Jay, is there anyone you're looking at in this lineup and kind of circling him, going this guy's got to get going right away? Yeah?
No words.
Bison King, come on. You're the most polarizing player in our lineup. I would love to see you get a goal. You're making some impact defensively. And I just, like I said, I'm 50-50 on this guy, but I still cheer for him because he's so lovable. So I think it's important to get that guy going. So if Bison can get a goal today, that would be great. And then also, you know what? Just because you did it and then I shit on it, I think Warren Foegele, I will also lean on him tonight. To see him get on the score sheet because that guy's got the tools. That's what drives me nuts about Foegele is he's got the skill set. So he puts it together, starts doing some confidence, and then the team is starting to click here. So Foegele for show.
Faux goal, faux show. I liked that third line, actually, with McLeod centering Puljujarvi and Fogle. I talked about this on Oilers Nation Radio yesterday as well. I think it's got the makings of a line that just has every tool you want in a third line. If Fogle can consistently bring the hard checking, hard forechecking, physical side of things, you got McLeod as that speedy guy who's honestly turning into a bit of a two-way center. And on the right side, you have Puljujarvi, who can be the offensive driver of things when he's really going. I'd love to see Jay Woodcroft really let that third line breathe a little bit and give them like 5-6 games together to see if they can establish something. Because, man, if they were to get going and if they're all playing their best, that would be quite the handful for other teams, especially because they'd be getting easy matchups on a nightly basis.
I honestly, I think if Fogle just kind of ups his physicality a little bit, because like Bison King or Puljujarvi's like strength is he just chased down guys and smacks them off the puck, right? Like that's one of his big contributing factors to a line. So if Fogle could also do that, like you got McLeod with speed. I think McLeod is the driver of that line, not Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi's your trigger man.
Yeah.
McLeod's just gonna that kid can fly. He's gonna buzz around the ice, and so can Fogle. But he can go end to end and just set up a tap in for Puljujarvi quite easily, as long as everyone's in the right place at the right time and can see what McLeod's trying to do.
Yeah. Looking at the chat here, our boy Yash is predicting a 4-1 win with goals from Leon, Nurse, Yamo, and the Bison King. John says he's hammering Yamamoto in DFS today. Genesis says he likes your setup, Jay.
Oh, thank you. This is very makeshift, but you know what? It's about jerseys, and it's about jerseys, and it's only about jerseys.
There was one. Oh, Dangerous Wade. Team needs to start hotter than Ryan Murray's tanning bed. He does look very tan on a pretty consistent basis. But interesting about their starts. They got off to a really good start against the Hurricanes, and this is something going back to last year. When the Oilers score first, they are one of the best teams in the NHL. When the Oilers get off to a hot start at home, they are nearly unbeatable. Going back to last season, when the Oilers lead after the first period at Rogers Place, they were a perfect 16-0 in the regular season. It's long been one of those traits they just do not possess on a consistent basis, coming out of the gates hot. But damn, last game was another example. Like when you start on the right foot, the dominoes fall in the right direction for the team.
It's funny, like we're just not like, yes, we can chase the game and we can come back like the best of them, but like it's amazing the command and the confidence we have when we get that first goal in. And once again, that also like put my mind at ease when we're watching that game. They got the first one against Carolina. I'm like, okay, like let's get to work, let's do this. And they played their game and held strong to it and got a really positive result, which is, they seem to do that when they get the first one. So like it almost sounds obvious to score first. That should be the point of the game, but we struggle with that, so we celebrate it.
Liam, your take?
I was going to say, I'm just looking here. So I actually thought they started pretty well against Buffalo too, and then penalties got in the way, and then they got that goal. But they responded really well. But now back-to-back games, they've conceded a goal within the first 2 minutes of the second period. So hopefully that doesn't start being a trend as well.
One step at a time, Liam. Like let's get the first period mastered, then we'll move and we'll focus on our second period game. Yeah,
they just enjoy chasing.
It's we're like a glutton for punishment.
You mentioned penalty trouble, Liam, and that's going to be one of my big keys to the game tonight. The Oilers are second in time spent shorthanded so far this season. 5.35 minutes per game. That is crazy. You're spending 1/12, just a little bit over that, of the game on the PK. The team they're going up, and by the way, so second in the NHL in time shorthanded. The Blues are 32nd in the NHL in time shorthanded. They're only averaging 1.5 minutes per game, 1.5 power plays against per game.
Is ice cold. Yes.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I look at it as you always got to stay out of the box tonight.
Yeah, that too. But silver lining. This is what we do. We're Oilers fans.
Genesis wants to know if the S is fixed in Sports Closet Studio. No, we have still not been able to track down a fresh S for the sign. So it is still, as you can see it right there, just the little, what do you call that thing?
That's an ampersand.
Ampersand. There you go.
So
it's still that.
Sports Closet and Studio.
Great to have Genesis back in the chat, by the way. He said he was relegated to listening on Spotify for a while, but he is back today. Another comment here. Can Soup hold it together? I think we all agree. Like, he's not to blame. Like, the win against Vancouver, bad start by the team. He bounced back well. Against Carolina, he got beaten a handful of times, but he made some big saves. Still, we're waiting for like his signature stamp on like, I am an Oiler, like his first big game. What do you think the chances are we get that tonight, Jay?
Oh, well, I don't want to say the word, but it's I think today shapes up nice. He's getting confidence. He's got a W under his belt. He made some big saves. So if he's feeling it, like he's a good goalie. So if he's feeling it in the right headspace, he can stop everything. So I expect a really, positive output from him today. And maybe, it's, the word you cannot say.
Oh, spicy. Liam, your thoughts?
I think he can. I think a big factor in it is the fact that St. Louis has only played 2 games. Like, how are they're not, might not be game ready. Like, the Oilers have kind of been tested already 4 games into the season. They're playing at a regular rate. Lines are starting to get chemistry a little bit. Like, I wonder how much that's going to play into things. And I think for Campbell to play really well, the Oilers need to play better in front of him. Like, they can't just be flat-footed, allowing guys to walk around them, and just got to be better as a defensive team. Like, turnovers need to be limited, and I think that's the key to success for Campbell, because he bailed them out a ton last game. Like that one right at the end where CC fumbled the puck and whoever it was walked in is a big save, and then he had the other one in the second period. Like, Campbell stepped up for this team. Now they need to step up for him and make his life a little bit easier.
Oh, a big props to McDavid for coming back and stopping that for sure goal. And that wouldn't have been Campbell's fault either. But I feel like our defense is going to be the topic du jour for every episode of this until some changes are made. But at least we got those saves. Like, that's the difference, right? Like, Campbell made those saves. Like, he's going to let high danger chances go in. Like, that's just how it works. And if we're giving them up in clumps, then like they're going to get a few goals on us, and you can't put it on Campbell. But, the fact that he can make some of those big saves, especially at crucial times that we had in Carolina, that's a big reason why we won. Like, and also we did put up 6, but you make those big saves, it creates momentum. It gets the team going because the goalie's there, defending the net for you, and it gets them going. Like, it's got a big impact. It trickles down. And then, we got this afternoon. It's quite a similar recipe to our friends in Carolina who went and played a bunch of lame ducks and beat up on them. And then came into Edmonton for some real competition. So, I feel the team is clicking right now. St. Louis went and played Columbus, and they went to overtime and won in overtime against Seattle. So, and they've only played twice, to Tyler's point. So, easier competition. They're feeling comfortable coming to Edmonton. Maybe it's a wake-up call. So, once again, hot start, very important.
Very important. I love that too. Like, it is to me very similar to the Carolina thing, where they haven't played really an established Stanley Cup contender yet. They got to roll into Edmonton and do that tonight. Let's get into the lineups. Let's start with the away team. Let's see how the St. Louis Blues are rolling into Rogers Place. On the top line there, Robert Thomas with Vlad Tarasenko and Braden Shen. Vlad Tarasenko, what a sort of redemption arc for him. You talk about all those injuries. He basically didn't play for 2 years, comes back, pops home 34 last year. He's now off to a great start, 5 points in 2 games. Career against the Oilers, 12 goals, 9 assists in 23 games played. The second line, it's Ryan O'Reilly with Jordan Kyrou and Brandon Saad. Ivan Barbashev with Trevor Lewis on the right side. And Jake Neighbors will play his, I think, first game in Edmonton since he was a member of the Oil Kings. So that'll be kind of neat to see. Noel Achari with Nathan Walker, our Aussie friend, and Torpchenko on the left side of that fourth line. On the blue line, it's Nick Leddy on the left side and another local guy in Colton Parayko on the right side. Justin Falk with Torrey Krug and Juuso Mikkola with Robert Bortuzzo. Jordan Binnington expected to get the start tonight. This team is driven by Vlad Tarasenko. He is the guy you have to shut down, right, Liam?
Yeah, he's their best player, and he's kind of like Svechnikov, right? He's just so dangerous when he gets the puck, and I don't know if his shot's the same. I don't key on that too heavily usually, but he's still an elite player, and the Oilers just got to be good against those elite players because they ain't going away throughout the season.
Yeah. Looking at the projected lines now for the Edmonton Oilers, Evander Kane with Connor McDavid and Kyler Yamamoto. Leon Draisaitl with Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. McLeod, Puljujarvi, Fogle. The Oilers going with the 11-7 approach, which means it's Shore and Ryan down on the fourth line. And the D-men, same 7 as last game. Same lineup for the Oilers as last game. Someone was asking for an update on Dylan Holloway. Will not play for the rest of the homestand, but he is expected to travel with the team when they head out on the road next week because they play St. Louis again in like 4 or 5 days, which is really weird as well. But Jay, I want to ask you specifically about that blue line. Brett Kulak, I tweeted about it today. He is the only Oilers D-man who hasn't been on the ice for a 5-on-5 goal against so far this season. Is there anything you want to see Jay Woodcroft do differently with this blue line, or is it just a matter of the guys they got to play better?
Play Kulak 30 minutes a night?
Interesting idea.
lean into the fact that he's good 5-on-5 and give him some more ice time. I don't know if he's got the stamina because that is a lot of ice. But, it is what it is. This is our decor. It's the fact that we're trying to expect a different outcome is the definition of an insanity. So, we got Darnell Nurse and CC, they can be pretty solid and they can be up and down, but, over the course of the season, they're a good, first pair for us.
Yep. And
then just lean into Kulak and then, hopefully the other members can get a little bit more confident and, yeah, I don't know. I keep saying we need to improve our defense. So until we don't,
yeah, I would love to see him keep playing Niemelainen a little bit more. His numbers haven't been.
Get him going. You got to give that guy a chance. He's that physical threat. So you gotta try to see if you can get him. If get him confident and get him playing. How many minutes did he play against Carolina?
He at 5-on-5, he was 8:30 at 5-on-5, which is up from the 5 minutes he had the game before against Buffalo. And Frank was on our show Wednesday and talked about how before you get to the deadline, you want to know what you have in Marcus Niemelainen. You also probably want to know what you have in Philip Broberg once he's healthy. But the way Ryan Murray's been at 5-on-5, he's not been good in his own end. I would look at Niemelainen and just be like, man, why not play him, 12, 13 minutes at 5-on-5 tonight? Give him a legit challenge and see how the guy handles it. Because I really think with the way Murray's been playing, with the way most of this blue line outside of Kulak has looked, although I will say Cody Cece's been really impressive as well. But you have nothing to lose. It can't get worse. Just play Niemelainen and see if he can thrive in a role where he's playing heavier minutes. I don't see a downside to it.
No, it's exactly. It's early in the season. What happens? It allows a goal against. That's probably going to happen anyways with the other defenseman that would be replacing him if he's playing less minutes. So you're right. Let's see what we got. Let's try to. He's how many years has he played in the AHL? This is his NHL moment, right? So we gotta lean into that and give him a chance because if he can take that step and he can be a 15, 17 minute a night defenseman. And, that's 17 minutes of him making sure guys keep their head up. That is a value as long as he can defend.
Yep. Mike says, put Kulak with Bouchard, Nemo with Barry. And I actually don't dislike that idea at all. I think a little jumble.
I don't want that. Insulate Barry a little bit.
Yeah. It is insane that we're saying insulate Barry a little bit when they're paying him $4.5 million. But
you're paying him to be offensive.
I know. But he wasn't even good.
And I'm okay with that. It's just the reality right now is we've got 2 Tyson Barrys on our team.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's get into our betting report for the day, brought to you by our friends over at Betway. Liam, take us through what we got for tonight.
Yeah, so the Oilers are the favorites on the money line, minus 154. That's not really that surprising. I actually thought it would be a little bit closer. And then the over is 6.5 at minus 167. I don't really think I'm going to hit either of those. The one I was kind of looking at, which I liked, was the Oilers to win on the money line and McDavid to score 2 points, which is plus 125. That was my favorite one of the night.
We are on the same. We're on the same page because I had that written down. We don't even talk about these before the show, but I had that written down as one of my favorite bets tonight. I love that play. McDavid should be rolling. Oilers power play always feeling a little dangerous, and I do actually like the Oilers to win this game. But I agree that the money line's just not quite juicy enough. Another one I'm looking at: McDavid averaged 6 shots on goals per game against St. Louis last season, and he's hit his shot prop pretty much every game this year. It doesn't pay out well, minus 155, but I think that's a good spot. My other bet, I'll give 3 today now: Evan Bouchard over 2.5 shots. He's only hit it once, but he's just missed it in a couple. He's starting to shoot the puck a little bit more, and they did take Barrie off the top power play unit a little bit quicker last game and start going to Bouchard. So if Bouchard's on that top power play unit, over 2.5 shots at plus 125, I think is a very, very good spot. Jay, what do you like tonight?
I'm trying to find it right now because I bet it last game, and I'm just looking on Betway right now. I went Oilers to win money line and over 5.5, and it paid against Carolina. That paid plus 165. So, 6.5 seems daunting right now, even though we score like crazy, we give up goals. But I still believe that we can shut them down. I am one of the insane ones that think we can actually really clamp down defensively. So I'm going to go Oilers money line and pair that up with over 5.5, just to juice it up from a minus to a nice plus, probably 120 to 140 range. And then Fogle
4-1. Why not? Warren Fogle 4-1. I don't hate that play at all. Why not? If I'm going to sit here and talk about how he's due, and I got to put my money where my mouth is.
If you're going to associate your personal brand with Fogle, you have to go all in with it, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Sure, we're in on a Warren Fogle tonight. Let us know in the YouTube chat what your best bet is for this evening's game. 19 plus, as always, play responsibly. Shout out to our friends at Betway. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that little like button for me. Come on. And John says 10 units on a faux goal.
I hope your unit's $1.
or you're going to be a very rich man when Warren Fogle finds the back of the net. My key to the game that I dropped earlier was stay out of the box. Stay out of the box, stay out of the box, stay out of the box. Like, just don't get into penalty trouble against a Blues team that's shown through 2 games. They don't take a lot of penalties. Liam, what's your key to the game tonight?
Just start the game like you have the last 2. Don't concede like you did against Buffalo, but come out, be hot, get the first goal. We're a good team, and we need to start representing ourselves like that. We're a Stanley Cup contender, so let's just go and prove it again today.
I like how you use the word concede. That's a very footy term of you, if you're a footy fan. Liam does Kicked Back with Caroline Shved twice a week. So if you want some soccer content in your life, go find that wherever you get your podcast from. Jay, your key to the game tonight.
Well, we like Liam. He speaks the Queens. I guess now you'd say you speak the Kings, right?
Kings, yes.
Kings. Wow, okay. I'm still mourning QE2 here. Let's stay hot and score more goals than the other team. I'm still trying to figure out what we are defensively. So let's try to limit those chances. Yes, stay out of the box, but let's draw some penalties. Let's see what this PK, this ice cold PK is, and see what we got on our hands and show them what this high octane power play that we have is. But yeah, that's it. And it's a 2:00 game, and we're not. You know what? I found that we've changed. The narrative always used to be we used to suck in matinees, but then we went and traveled on the road and just dominated matinees. So home matinees are still a little weird because it puts them out of the rhythm. So just get the legs going early. Get the legs going early because they're going to feel a little rusty and weird. And just show the St. Louis Blues that you're in Edmonton now. This isn't Seattle. This isn't Columbus.
All right.
We're not looking up. We're hard.
Something that happened earlier this week, we had another spot open up on our nation vacation to Vegas. There is literally 1 spot left. As always, we partner up with our friends at AMA Travel to put on a great trip. It's going to be an absolute blast in Vegas. So if you're sitting watching this and you're on the fence, you're like, oh man, I wanted to go to Vegas. There's now 1 spot open. Consider it like a sign from the gods that you were meant to come on this nation vacation, brought to you by AMA Travel, nationgear.ca, or if you want more info, you can email Dan at OilersNation.com and he can help you out a little bit.
Go directly to Tyler's house at?
Just show up to my house?
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Just email Dan. Trust me, it's much easier.
I also want to plant the seed for the BOA next Saturday. We're going to be in Calgary.
Yeah.
What, you don't want me to?
No. Go. We're in Calgary.
Well, we need to inform everyone because this is exciting. We're going to Calgary. You'll see your Mcheck's frantically trying to sell his Arkells tickets. So if anyone's staying in town and want to go to the Arkells, please liberate him of his tickets so he can come join us. We're going to go down to Calgary on Saturday. We're going to do a BOA edition of ON Everyday and Barn Burner colliding for a pregame with Pinder and Boomer. And then our good friends at ATB Financial have given us a bunch of tickets to go to the game.
Yep.
So we want to throw out a beacon, a flare, if you will. And when we figure out and organize on our end on Saturday, we're going to announce where we're going to be in Calgary. And it'll be like 16, 18 people that come and meet us are going to get tickets to come to the game with us. So we want to really work with the crowd, the nation citizens in Calgary, and have some great times with you. I know we do a bunch of events in Edmonton and stuff, and sometimes you can come up, sometimes you can't. So we want to come down to Calgary and come to you and go have a great night. And if everything goes well, maybe we'll end the night at Singapore Sam's.
That would be very
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to our friends at AMA Travel who help us with all of this stuff. And yeah, the Calgary thing is going to be awesome. It's always great because we do get a lot of messages from the Oilers fans living down in Calgary that, they don't get to make the parties.
For the longest time, Flames Nation's getting a bunch of momentum. You saw Ryan Pike, he tweeted a bunch they hit a million pages a few days ago, and this is all fun and exciting. But for the longest time, the biggest independent sports site in Calgary was Oilers Nation. And that was something we were very, very proud of. And that means we know there's a lot of people that live in Calgary that cheer for the right team. So we want to come and have some fun with you guys and gals next weekend.
All right, that's going to be a wrap on today's show, live from the Sports Closet studio. Look your best on game day. If you're down in Calgary, maybe you need to hit up their website, sportscloset.ca. This has been a Short for Giant Game Day edition. We are only 90 minutes away from puck drop. Enjoy the game, and we will be back on Monday with another edition of the show. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.